let's talk about God and law of attraction. This is very powerful and very controversial. And when The Secret first came out, there was a couple of things that were frowned upon. And what I think is so interesting about this is that the major thing was that people believed that the law of attraction was without God, without source, without creator, without universe. That it was simply saying that we as human beings can create our own reality, can attract, that we have a superpower that is attraction that doesn't have anything to do with God. So many people, that's what they believed that The Secret was about. And if you go back to The Secret, there's not a lot of talk about God, universe, source energy. The other thing that was not allowed in that movie was to use the word energy. So the word energy was removed from anybody that discussed it. This is what Bob told me. Because the word energy was not accepted by society, people didn't get it. They didn't understand it. Now we can talk about it and we get it and we know what we're talking about. But society as a whole would not have picked up on that or understood that. So they changed it, took the word energy out. And the original movie, had Abraham Hicks channeled through Esther, and that was actually taken out. And then there is a subsequent edited version where you can watch that interview. Someone has since told me. So a little bit of like controversy, right? In the original movie that came out. And I have had over the past 4 years, many people come to me and say that I'm teaching things that are against their religious beliefs. And the biggest thing that I've come to terms with is that it does not matter what anybody else believes. It only matters what you believe. And so my journey here to teach this information, I do believe I'm a spiritual teacher. My journey here to teach this information is to teach you what my perspective is and to facilitate you acknowledging your own understanding and perspective of God, source, energy, universe, creator, whatever you want. Who actually created The Secret? Everything comes from source. Everything. So the movie was meant to be the way that it was meant to be for the collective consciousness at that time in the moment that they were able to understand it. That's what I believe. So it's all working out. It's all perfect and it's all as it's meant to be. But now you can see how the collective consciousness has elevated. We can talk about energy. We can talk about God. We can be on here having a conversation like this without people thinking we're nuts. And that's okay. It's just a change in belief and it's just a change in awareness. But I want every single one of you to understand whatever you want to understand. It's the God of your understanding that will make the difference for you and your beliefs. God only exists if you believe God exists. The universe only exists if you believe the universe exists. But we're actually all talking about the same thing. Like somebody asked me, well, what's the difference between God and universe? And what's the difference between universe and source energy? And what's the difference between infinite and intelligence? Like all these different things. And I'm like, we're all talking about the same thing. We're talking about the process of life that is expressed through an energy source. So my favorite, absolute favorite understanding of this that just resonates with me so much comes from Neil Donald Walsh in Happier Than God. So Neil Donald Walsh had conversations with God on a piece of yellow paper that he wrote out. He asked God a question and God would respond through him and he would write it down. They became the Conversations with God series, which sold 15 million copies around the world. If that's not God speaking through somebody, then I don't know what is. And so Neil's belief is that the law of attraction is a power that we have that was given to us through source, through God, through universe to create our power. This is how we work. So in order for us to manifest what we desire, we must vibrationally attract what we desire by who we are being. And no, we don't come with an instruction manual. No, like we weren't born being taught, where does this information exist? If it's not in our minds when we're born, then how do we access it? We have to get it through source, from who and what we really are. We have to get it from our intuition. We have to get it from our soul's knowledge and understanding. And that means that we have to believe we have a soul. that we are awareness, that we aren't humans with an intellectual mind, that our brain does all the work. So we have to actually believe something different in order to even access the information. So of course, when we are born in the human existence, in the human body, with all the patterns and the programs from the past thousands of years, we're born not knowing, but we've just forgotten. And so now you can remember, which is really beautiful. So there is no manifestation without God. And any belief that manifestation is an entirely human process, crazy. I wouldn't believe that. So I now am comfortable using the God language. I wasn't before. First 2 years of my journey, I would have said universe. I would have never said God. But now I'm comfortable and confident that I have an idea of God in my mind. It makes sense to me. I understand it. It helps me to really, really feel connected, to feel my oneness. And so I'm okay with using the word God now. And it's not God that I would have thought 5 years ago, like a man with a big beard sitting up on a chair in heaven. That's not what we're talking about. It's an energy source. It's the process of life. It's everything all at once. And it's coursing through me every single day. And my awareness of it is what makes me so powerful. Whatever feels good for you. We have had people on all spectrums. So we have had people that have been very, very heavy into religious doctrines and have very strict patterns and programs that they've believed in. And so sometimes it's just shifting that a little bit to believe something that serves you just in a little bit of a different way. And then maybe it is that God word does trigger you a little bit. So use a different word. It doesn't matter. It just matters that you feel it, that you know it, that you believe it, and that you are feeling supported. So if the law of attraction is a power that we've been given through source that makes us so powerful, then it's divine, isn't it? It's a divine little tool that we have. And it's so fun to then feel your divinity through using attraction. But all you need to do is understand how to use it. And that's what I really want to help you with today. So I separated the difference between a raise in vibration and operating on a new frequency of vibration. Let's talk about a raise in vibration first. So let's say that I'm feeling a little bit sad, underwhelmed. I don't feel really worthy. I'm not that excited. My vibration is going to oscillate low and slow. So it's not going too fast, but it's always moving. So the perpetual transmutation of energy. So it's always, always moving. So then I decide, okay, I'm going to intentionally change my thoughts. I'm going to change my feelings. I'm going to change how I'm moving in this day. And I'm going to start to become happier. And I'm going to get inspired. And I'm going to listen to YouTube videos. And I'm going to listen to new music. And I'm going to come on a training. And I'm going to raise my vibration. And so then I'm happier, more inspired, lit up. Okay, wonderful. Now my vibration is oscillating faster. But will you make more money? Will you grow your business? Will you attract the love of your life, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? These are the questions. Does mood manifest? No. We manifest who we are being, not how we are necessarily feeling in moments. So let's say I'm making $10,000 a month, every single month, consistently. I'm an entrepreneur. I own my own business and I'm making $10,000 a month. And I decide that I'm going to start studying vibration and energy and manifestation, and I'm going to start feeling a lot better. And so my vibration, I'm happy. I'm feeling good. Oh my gosh, we're doing amazing. Look at us go. But next month comes around and I still make 10,000. And then the next month I still make 10,000. And I'm feeling good. I'm excited. I'm happy. My mood is great. I'm inspired. I'm thinking positively. Why am I not making any more money? Because you are still at the identity of a $10,000 income earner. You're on the frequency of vibration of $10,000 a month. Your patterns, your programs, your consciousness, your belief systems have you staying at 10,000 a month, no matter how happy you are. Right? So this is where transformation has to occur for you to jump to the new frequency. So you might go to 20,000 a month. Then you might go to 50,000 a month. Then you might go to 100,000 a month. Okay. So the key to this then is, yes, I want you to raise your mood. I want you to be happier. I want you to be inspired. I want you to feel better. That's the starting point of all of this. But I don't want you to stay at the 10K. I want you to move up to the 20K. So you start to feel happy. You start to feel excited. You start to feel good, but then you start to reprogram your subconscious mind. And you start to believe that you are worthy. You believe that you can do it. You're trusting your intuition. Then you hit a $20,000 a month and you're like, wait a minute, I can do 50,000. And then you see yourself as a powerful, badass CEO who's an icon, who has everything that they've ever wanted, blah, 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 blah. And then you go like this. This is what we want to do. We do not want to stay on one frequency. We want to tune in to new frequencies. I'm using dollar amounts because they're measurable. Like we can measure it. Bob used to tell me all the time, Kathleen, money is simply a measuring tool. It is a yardstick. So how much money you make in your business, how much money you make in your life is telling you whether you have jumped onto a new frequency of vibration or not. Don't get attached to it. It doesn't tell you your worthiness. It doesn't tell you that you are successful. It doesn't make life whole and complete. It is simply a measuring stick or a tool to measure. So can we see the difference here between simply raising your vibration and operating on a completely new frequency of vibration? So let's take the state of being that we talked about, failure versus success. So if I'm somebody who believes that I'm failing, my business isn't growing, I'm not making enough money. It's been 2 years. I've been at this 2 years and it's still not here. I still haven't made enough money. I don't have enough clients. That energy, that identity, it attracts. And it's a frequency of vibration. And so imagine somebody then who creates an identity that no matter what they've achieved in the past, they always achieve what they want in the future. It's inevitable. It always happens. They're powerful. They're successful. They believe that everything is coming to them. They have absolute faith. They are successful. So we want you to think from the frequency that you want to be at, not the frequency that you're at. So I don't want you to keep thinking like a $10,000 a month income earner. I want you to think from a $20,000 a month income earner, then a $50,000 a month income earner, and then $100,000. Tell me how a natural skill or ability is created that makes somebody who they are. Oprah's skills and abilities that make her so good at what she does. What do you think her skills and abilities are that creates her success? My belief is none of the above. I don't think that there is any special skill or ability that Oprah has. I believe that it is Oprah's belief in herself. It is the way she thinks. It is the way she talks. It's the action she takes. It's the feeling. It's her ability to see a vision of something and bring it into the physical. It's how she sees herself. Every single one of us can create an existence like that. I truly believe that. So I don't think that skills and ability are the cause. I think skills and abilities become things that you can utilize, that become a tool that can serve you. So for example, I love social media. I post to social media all the time, but I wasn't allowing myself to believe that I was a content creator. So I went out and took a little course on Reels so that I could accept the identity that I was a content creator. And now I've got these Reels going every day and I love them and I'm having a blast. So would you say I have a skill or ability in creating Reels? Sure. But it came from me accepting an identity of being a content creator that allowed me to step into the ability to post on social media in the ways that I do. It's so true. I have 3 degrees and still see myself as unintelligent. And somewhere in your life, somebody said that to you. Somebody made you feel unintelligent and you accepted the belief. And the moment you accepted the belief as truth, it became true for you. So what would be a new belief that you could accept? And you can accept a belief just like that. You have a belief that in order to reprogram your subconscious mind with a new belief, that you have to write it down every day. How do I know? You just asked the question that told me your assumption. So somewhere along the line, you were taught that you had to write it out. I sat there one day, I was writing it out. Bob used to teach us, write it out 100 times. And so I sat there writing something out 100 times. And my hand really hurt. I was like, oh, this is taking a lot of time. My hand really hurts. Do we really have to do this? Like, is this really the way to reprogram the subconscious mind? And then I went back a little bit and I went, okay, so whatever I believe to be true will be truth. Whatever I assume to happen will happen. So what if I believe I can reprogram my subconscious mind without writing it out 100 times? What would that be like? So I ditched that belief. Didn't serve me. Does that work? Yes. We know that repetition is a way to reprogram the subconscious mind. But it doesn't say that repetition has to be written out thousands of times, right? So if we think about it, what do we use to write? Pen and paper. Pen and paper are manifestations that would have started in someone's mind. So they manifested pen and paper without pen and paper. So you do not need pen and paper to manifest. You do not need pen and paper to change a belief. And now we have audios that we listen to on repeat. You don't need that. All you need is the understanding that you choose your beliefs and you can reprogram them in an instant if you believe that. So what if you believed that you could make a decision to change a belief, write it down once, and then believe it? That's what I believe. I don't really listen to anything on repeat anymore. I allow myself to accept new beliefs almost instantly. And most of the time I'll do it with emotion. So I'll tap into an emotional state of being, ooh, what if it's true? What if this is true? And then I'll go into my mind and I'll visualize it being true. And I'll feel the feeling of its truth coursing through me. I'll be like, okay, I can believe that. Now I'm going to walk in its truth. So I'm going to embody it. I'm going to be it. So if I believed that belief to be true, what would I do next? That's the embodiment, right? So little example, I'm starting to share a little bit more about like my dating life a little. Like I've been single now for 2 years. And so I'm meeting some people. And so the subconscious pattern and program, whatever it was set to, had me meet a certain type of man a year ago. So then I become aware, okay, this isn't fully what I desire, but I'm reflecting it. So there's something within me that thinks I'm worthy of this. So I got to change that belief. So I'm going to go within and I'm going to say, no, I am now worthy of yada, yada, yada. So then the next date I go on, the guy shows me that he's what I don't want. Am I going to go out with him again? No, that's the embodiment. Even if I'm bored, even if I have no plans on Friday night, maybe it'd be a good time, I'm still not going to entertain it because that's replaying an old identity and replaying an old belief system. So this is where you say no and you hold your boundary and trueness to the new identity instead of the old identity. No matter how attractive they are, ladies, right? We're going to hold true to the new identity. This is the embodiment of it. So it's the same thing in your business. It's the same thing in the matter of self-love. It's the same thing in your relationships, right? Any relationship that you have, if you're having reactions to relationships, how can you shift them to hold a new belief? You can actually change the way people show up for you in your life. So if you believe that your husband is very, very negative, I can actually teach you how to see that he's not negative. And then as soon as you start seeing that he's actually not negative, you'll see that he's a positive person. And you're like, oh, what happened there? I just helped you to change your belief about him. So then you stopped seeing in him the negative and started to see the positive. There's a reason you married that man. Find it again. I'm joking about it because it's probably one of the most common things that I hear from women that want to better their marriages. There's something about their hubby all the time. So let's change the way we see him first. Then we will change the experience that we have with him.